All right, we are back for round number 2. We got Kingpins, the winner of our last best of 3, up against number 5 seed Qhali. Kingpins win the flip. They're going to choose second pick. Qhali take Radiant. Should be right into draft. In just a moment.
Ten seconds. It is Radiant's ban.
Alright, so we'll see how things adjust. Kingpins coming off pretty strong showing in their first series. Tough opponent here, though, in the form of Qhali.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds.
If they're going to stick to kind of their fast-paced early game strategy that they went with
Dire's turn to
for most
ban.
of their first series,
It is Radiant's
or
ban.
if they're going to have to adjust to Qhali's playstyle a bit more. Heki's banned out by Qhali. We saw that show up for Kingpins in game 1. 10
seconds.
Banned out by Kingpins for Qhali. Qhali, I believe, has at least played in qualifiers in South America, if not has seen a bit of EPC play.
Ban.
I believe they're going to be in... There was at least one team I was looking at that's going to the international.
Radiant's turn to pick.
SA.
Dire must choose.
Snapfire gets through the bans and will be the first pick for Qhali. Most often seen in the mid lane. So likely to show up there, has flex potential though into a support role or potentially the off lane. Yes, this is Qhali is shaping up to be in the TI Open qualifiers for South America, so it'll be very interesting getting to see them play in this tournament as kind of a prep for that. Looking forward to watching to see if they can make a run. See what Kingpins want to respond to the Snapfire with. It wasn't a hero that we saw KNGI play, and so didn't see anything specific as a response from them in the last series. We'll see if they go back to kind of their position 4 plus a mid or off lane. It is going to be the Bat Rider. We saw a really great Bat Rider performance from Reason in game 2 against KNGI. So that's where I expected to be. Does still have the flex potential, but most likely in that position 4 role. We've also just consistently seen Kingpins always open with Reason 0. Often see the Nappy hero picked up here, and it is going to be the Storm Spirit. So they finished off their best of 3 with the Pugna as a mana battery for Storm Spirit. I'm curious if we're going to see an IO or Keeper of the Light at position 5 come out in the second phase.
10 seconds remain.
Or if Qhali's going to have to ban those out. We don't often see teams prioritizing support bans in the second phase, so wouldn't be surprised to see something like that get through. See what Qhali's response is. KNGI's puck against it looked pretty good. Well, the lane didn't go well, but the into the later game, like it was a decently reasonable matchup. But I think Kingpins would be pretty happy playing into another puck after how well Nappy's lane went last game. See how Qhali want to close this out. Maybe they could go for like a Clockwork. Is a really nice pairing with the Snapfire. They've got somebody that plays it.
Ember
They're gonna go for
Spirit.
the Ember Spirit. Interesting. So much more likely that this is a support Snapfire. We know Ember Spirit will be in a core role, and it's pretty out of fashion to play him as a carry. Almost always is in the mid position. So I think this is going to be a support. Which I think, like in Riyadh, there were definitely teams still playing the support Snapfire, and I think it was more popular among South America. So, not too surprising that they go that route.
It is Radiant's ban. It is Dire's
Silencer.
ban.
Okay, so they are going to target the supports to help the Storm Spirit. A little interesting to see this Skywrath Mage ban, as that's considered a pretty good answer to Storm Spirit, but I think they're worried that Kingpins would grab it on the first pick of the next phase. Not because we know most likely they're going to go for their position 5 pick coming out of this ban phase.
5 seconds
But
remain.
it does mean that the offlane and carry positions are going to be much more open than a lot of games we've seen and a lot of drafts we've seen. Disruptor banned out as well by Kingpins. So the position 5 pool getting heavily targeted, with Chen, Undying, Keeper of the Light, Skywrath Mage.
10 seconds.
All getting banned out. Rubik and Techies in the 4 position.
5
Only
seconds.
1 core ban so far. In the form of Faceless Void, which is very good ban here. Snapfire and Ember Spirit both love playing with a Faceless Void.
Dire's turn to ban.
Monkey King gonna get banned out, so they'll let the IO through as a potential mana battery. But we'll see how much how much Kingpins try to prioritize having that for their Storm Spirit, or if they think the hero can just function on its own.
5
which often he
seconds
can.
remain.
One last ban to come out in this phase from Kingpins. Given a little more thought to it, maybe a little surprised after the Coddle ban that the IO doesn't get taken out. So now maybe thinking, do they really want the IO? Is that going to be like a bait pick into like an Ancient Apparition, if that's something Qhali play? Because we saw that, especially at the tail end of Riyadh Masters, Ancient Apparition was showing up a lot more. So I'm curious if that's something that they're worried about having to ban. Snapfire AA, I mean, normally it looks like not a super reliable stun duo of supports, but with the setup from the Searing Chains from Ember Spirit, has a lot of potential that you're much more likely to land those stuns. Deep into the reserve time, it's going to be the Beastmaster getting banned out. They'll switch over to prioritizing an offlane, which is the only offlaner banned out, so that pool is very open right now. Curious what Kingpins are going to look for here. Is it going to be the IO as the battery? It's going to be a Silencer. This is another hero we saw really protects your Storm Spirit. I've heard it compared to like having your BKB ahead of time for Storm Spirit, because the global silence just completely protects whatever the Storm Spirit wants to do when he zips in.
Remain.
So that is another frequent Storm Spirit pairing if you're not going to go for something that can store his mana. It's also absolutely brutal for a Snapfire to play into. I love playing support Snap, and I hate playing into Silencer, because the Silencer can just hold global until you ult, and then always cancel your ult. Like, there's just no way to not have your ult get cancelled by a Silencer. So it's a really nice response to that, too. I like where Kingpin's draft is going so far. Qhali getting deep into the reserve time now, too. see what they want to go with in this phase. Likely going to have 2 picks. I mean, they're going to get 2 back-to-back picks. We'll see if they do those quickly or just get 1 pick in to give themselves some more time to think. Seconds to go. The pick will come through. It's tiny. So I'm guessing that's your other support. We're seeing 3 heroes that can be played in the mid and are played mid, but one of them is much more exclusive to the mid lane than the other 2, and that's Embers. So
10 seconds.
I'm guessing this is a Snapfire Tiny support duo, which is kind of spicy.
5 seconds.
So you really haven't seen a carry Tiny in.
Dire's turn to pick.
Alright.
Elder Titan.
Huh. And then it's an Elder Titan. So maybe this is an offlane Snapfire. This is a very interesting draft from Qhali. In that I'm really unsure about where they want to put these heroes. I was really convinced this was a support Snapfire, but I was kind of ignoring
10 seconds.
The possibility of it being offlane, but it's also possible a Tiny or an Elder Titan is in the offlane. But I think that's your support to it. So I think it's going to be a Tiny Snapfire offlane. Which is pretty nice because you get a lot of forward movement with Toss and Medusa. Kingpins go back to the Medusa that they just took game 3 of their last series with. It was a very similar draft to their last game, and it worked well. They didn't even have to push it to ultra late with the Medusa. They were able to mount an early lead and then pick up an Aegis and just shove in the lanes to take out some really early barracks.
It is Dire's ban.
Underlord gonna get banned out. That was the offlane they went to. Yeah, interesting that the offlane's gonna get left to last for Kingpins here. But I think they just wanted to take this opportunity to grab the Medusa.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Yeah, Slark gonna get banned out, so Kingpin's thinking similarly to me that it's a carry that's left for Qhali to pick.
Ten seconds remain.
Could maybe
5 seconds.
see a Primal Beast get banned out. That's an offlaner recently. Yeah, they're gonna ban out the Mars. Which is, yeah, I guess like the Mars plus the Stone Gaze can be scary. And having the global silence to like protect what you're doing in the Mars ult. I think Batrider will drag people through the wall. It's a little bit of a nombo there. They ban out the Lycan last, which we have seen played in the carry role. So, still targeting that carry position. I think there's still some flexibility in this Qhali draft.
Templar Assassin.
Again, another hero that we see most often in the mid lane. Like, that's almost definitely the carry. But it's a hero that lately has been a mid hero. So they've got like 4 mids in this Qhali draft.
10
but
seconds.
A lot, like, these heroes do make sense elsewhere.
5 seconds remain.
That is just a ton of damage to be able to take care of a Medusa. Like, I think that's the thought process behind this Templar Assassin pick, is just like, we need enough damage to dump into. Now, Kingpins had the Templar Assassin, and it is going to be the Primal Beast as the offlane pick to round out the King. Yeah, in game 1 of the last series, Kingpins had Templar Assassin, and KNGI picked the Medusa into the Templar Assassin, and that was the game they won. So, definitely, you know, interesting to see if Kingpins can do the same thing and beat this Templar Assassin. I'm also less familiar... Well, I guess I can... Yep. I'm less familiar with Qhali's roles, so I'm actually seeing players lock in. I'm still not sure where these heroes are going. But I still feel pretty confident that it's a mid-Ember Spirit, it's an offlane Snapfire.
5 seconds remain.
I know Lewis is a support, so that should be the 5 Elder type. Start day will be the Templar Assassin. I believe he's the carry. Alright, that's all our heroes locked in. We're going to get into our game number 1 in just a moment. How these players are able to get things started, try to punch their ticket into the quarterfinals. Round number 2 of TDL America's Pro Series 24, our 2023 summer season. Reason's Batrider set is very goofy. I like it. Oh, this is sick. Ember Spirits. We're going to start with a pause.
Why, thank you.
Looking good.
Lewis on the Elder Titan, Osito on Ember Spirit, Starte on the Templar Assassin, LSM on the Snapfire, and Nameless 92.99 on the Tiny. Does look like this is a support Tiny. Got the wards set up. Lots of stats
ephemeral masterpiece
for LSM. Get nice writing on the map from Leonidas. Got over here for items for a reason. Put up with blood grenades. All right. We're gonna get right into things. No smokes coming out to start things off. Just walking out of their own power. I don't even think anybody has a smoke. Yeah, just a million iron branches. Yeah, it has their Rod of Atos queued up. So this is definitely an off-lane Snapfire.
Consider yourself warned.
Both teams just going to kind of chill up in their triangle, waiting for somebody else to come up the high ground. It looks like it will be a pretty low-key rune getting. Leonidas just going to sit out by the tower. Qhali now going to move forward. They are going to go up into the dire jungle.
The battle begins.
Kingpins potentially going to look for a wraparound, but it is just going to be a full 2 for 2. We're going to find the Medusa here. Starte starting up near the off lane, so Leonidas is going to take a little bit of damage, but just offer the high five, knowing that they're not rushing under tower for this. A little interesting. Yeah, it looks like Reason's thinking about setting up on the Twin Gates, but we'll end up not going through with it. So they'll make it safely back down to their lane. Astarte in the carry position, immediately getting trampled down. Starting with Meld means no refraction, so they've got plenty of ways to chew through it in this lane anyway. And nearly picking up a first blood already. Now Reason getting hit with these punches from Lewis, uses the Fairy Fire, and picks up the first
You've
blood
just achieved
before the
first
flame
blood.
break can save
Thanks
them.
and have fun.
Lewis brings down Reason to get things started off well for Qhali.
Nope.
Classic Spirit matchup here in the last lane, in the mid lane, sorry. We didn't see a ton of kills in the mid lane last game. Astarte still trying to hang out at pretty low health. Lewis bringing out the harass as well. All of the consumables already being used by Lewis to get that first blood. Means Reason comes back with a bit more in the tank, including that second blood grenade. Still back. Ready to go. Astarte, the low health hasn't stopped them from getting last hits. Still very much up there competing. Nappy off to another great start on this Storm. This guy's lane is so scary. The Storm. Now, ooh, it's gonna be close. Could be some more kills in this one, but it looks like they're actually both just going to walk away. Top side, they've been getting some damage in these heroes, but overall, it's not been.
This is how I have to get better.
Bot lane seems to be stabilizing a little bit. They've got some more levels down there.
Dire's courier has been
Lewis still playing pretty far forward on this Elder Titan, which is fun to watch. Spirit getting brought low again. Nappy off to a pretty strong lead, ahead by more than a full creep wave at this point. Tuxedo responds with the Flame Guard. Let's start bringing Nappy a little bit low. Still pretty chill up top side.
Gold for my forward.
I want to keep watching this mid lane because it feels like as soon as I look away, they're gonna find something like some crazy little plays. Or as soon as they hit level 6 as well, like whoever, it's very easy. Vortex in. Now the slight forward Flame Guard, keeping Aceto alive for now. We got Lewis rotating up here, so maybe a chance to get a kill as they come to help secure the runes. This top continuing to get low. This Arcane Curse is devastating for these two heroes. Just making their way back to the bot side. Just all of these players playing so, like, just within their limits. Sadly, taking some damage. They get Avalanche into the Cookie that has the wand stacks. Now they're going to turn back towards Nameless. And it's not going to get denied. Goes for the neutral creeps. It sadly finishes it off with the curse. Meanwhile, outside, they make an even trade. Position 4 for position 4. Now they're going to get the Echo Stomp set up onto Qhali. With the side blades coming out, can they bring down this Primal Beast? One more hit to do it. They will. Astarte picks up the kill, and that's going to be the start of a lead for Qhali. Both position 4s dying means both mid laners will get a refill of the bottle, although Aceto does not have a bottle. So maybe Macho Rotation gets a big avalanche onto both heroes, and they get the toss-up onto Nappy, who's falling low, but now Aceto, Flame Guard has run out. They get the Electric Vortex, but Nappy will be the first to fall. Aceto now trying to escape, but the Arcane Curse is already there.
These embers, well.
Oh, No, they did get the bottle refill, but Nameless still had the bottle on him. I wonder if that actually ends up making the difference. So both mid laners go down. It's been like a very symmetrical match so far. But Qhali with the slight lead off of a couple extra kills they've found in their bottle. The last hits are super even too. Osito's gotten it way closer than it was. He's gonna steal the shield rune, but that shield rune is gonna get chewed through, and they all set up around the toss and bring down the bat run.
Denied!
A little more space for Astarte down here now that the supports have been playing around the mid lane. Qhali does have the Vanguard, so is at least tanking up a bit, but it's still going to take full damage from those side blades. Now we're going to get a rotation top from Osito. Lewis playing up here as well. Going to throw down the Astral Spirit on Sadly. See if they go for a stomp setup. They'll just scout it out. Leonidas farming pretty safely on the tower. LSM also just kind of chilling, hitting creeps. 13 denies up here, so a bit of a lead for LSM as well over Leonidas. Lane Nappy still in a bit of a lead, has the Falcon build. See if they go for this 3-sword build again. I liked it last game. Onslaught forward from Qhali is then just going to turn Uproar. Doesn't have the trample available. Reason is coming back down here. Drops down the sentry in case Astarte wants to meld.
To me!
Back off safely. A pause from Leonidas. Oh. An accidental good game ping again. Sadly, just working on some boots. Already on the way home. What else we got going for items? Midas has the power treads finished, nothing queued up.
Why, thank you.
Osito has the Orb of the Orb of Corrosion. Working on phase boots. Lewis, what's on that? Just some wards and part of Tranquil boots. None of the supports are going to have much for items right now. Astarte looks like just got a Blade of Alacrity. They're off to a pretty good start. Switch over to ahead for TA. Alright, and it looks like we should be good to get back into things as soon as Qhali's ready.
Now the fight resumes, but will it follow the same thread?
get a base setup onto the Storm Spirit with the Avalanche. It's going to try to escape, and the Blood Grenade is not going to be quite enough. Meanwhile, they find the kill on Sadly, at least. A nice escape from Nappy to get out of there. As maybe some conversations happening about what was going to happen as soon as the pause ended. Kingpins setting up around this mid tower still. Supports have been playing in the mid lane a lot, which is pretty typical, but definitely seems like that's where they want to put the most pressure at the moment. See if they start looking towards trying to find some pressure. I mean, it's hard to kill like any of these cores. Actually, now we're going to get a rotation from Osito out of the mid lane. Maybe try to find something on Reason or Qhali.
There is little hope for Radiant's middle tower.
A little harder with the wave cooking in. For something now they get this chains set up for the Echo Stomp. No, it's dead. And of course, Reason, but the starting is getting very low now. Having to deal with the flames, the Firefly. And that's enough damage to bring down the Starfade. They will get their return goal on Reason and maybe look for something on Qhali. Looks like Osito will not chase any further. Good trade for Kingpins. Very important kill on the hero that was the highest net worth at the time.
Never refuse gold given.
These backing off a little bit as Nameless and LSF player here. You're gonna get a chain set up into the Echo Stomp. Set that right up into an Avalanche to bring down Reason. Like, Nappy's gonna look, turn it around. First Splitter does not connect. Nappy able to dodge away. Now here come Mortimer's Kisses out from the back from LSM. That's going to be enough to find the kill on Sadly. Qhali now maybe looking for more, but it's going to go back down. Still kind of playing in the area. Osito looking for more as well.
I'm over here.
Dodge away from the Stomp. That's going to be right into where Osito is running in, and they find an important kill on Primal goes for the Pulverize, but immediately get cancelled by Creep on
Hello, this is Gabe Newell.
And that's going to turn
Thanks
into
for playing
another
Dota
kill
2.
for Osito, who picks up
Double kill.
The Dire Glyph is now active. There is little hope for Dire's middle tower. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Qhali
bottom
continue
tower
pushing
is
into the
under attack.
lead, getting more
Radiant's
out of
top
most of
tower
these
is in
trades,
danger.
up to 11-4 in kills in all three cores, right at the top of the
Dire's
network.
bottom tower is in danger.
Battling with Medusa. Medusa's right there with the three of them. There's a bit more of a drop off. We'll see if Leonidas can get away, getting a lot of farm here. Rotate out towards mid just to find some more farm. Pick up these stacks before the Storm Spirit takes them on. I spot this ward getting placed, and Nappy will zip forward towards Willis. And that will be plenty of damage. Gets the Echo Stomp, or the Earth Splitter down. Not enough to take any heroes down with them. Osm has the Rod of Atos finish, working towards the Guardian Greaves next.
Dire's top tower is in danger.
Vito pretty close to the Maelstrom, gonna be big up Sleight of Fist.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Get some more farm in. As Qhali all set up around this top
Eager to know
tower.
Dire's whereabouts.
Looks like this will be a pretty
Look to their
uncontested
top
push. Maybe
tower.
looking for something down bot side, trying to find where Astarte is farming, but going to get scouted out by the Astral
Dire's top
Spirit
tower
and
is
pushed
no
back.
more.
Still kind of hanging around with this smoke though. Maybe seeing if they're going to find somebody. See if they can trade these towers, or if Qhali wants to contest for this. looks like they're going to be pretty okay letting it go. Starter's not really farming down here anymore.
Tower is under attack.
Smoke up from the two support, or from the offlane. Avalanche stun beautifully timed into the cookie.
It ain't about you.
Absolutely perfectly stacked. Not completely deleted.
Is now active.
I mean, just perfect timing. The Avalanche is awesome.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That'll be the middle tower for Qhali as well. Now they're going to rotate down. Nameless is going to find a kill on the side. Over
A dominating performance.
Splitter will set up a kill for Aceto. Now moves up to a dominating streak on this Ember Spirit, taking off sadly in the back. Smoke up now for Qhali. They want to look for more. The big target is this Medusa, and that's who they're potentially moving towards. They know that somebody's farming over here with the vision that they have. It is. Feel the pressure, or just finish up farming those camps and go on to find others. Now, instead, they move towards Qhali. Global Silence is going to come out with the Pulverize. That looks like it'll be enough to finish off Nameless. No, not quite enough. The mechanism comes out. Now they turn around with the Cookie into Mortimer's Kisses. They will find the kill on Qhali after all. Silence still on Aceto is going to stop any further chase towards Leonidas. Now Astarte moving in over on the back line. Qhali looked to bring up the troops even more. Sunspirit is zipping forward. Nappy's not going to find anything there as he leaves behind a remnant to keep home. They're going to keep pushing in on this tower. Immediately they find sadly, oh, and LSM is disconnected. So a bit of an awkward pause timing, but can't hold that against them. Don't have Mortimer's Kisses available, but it feels like they're gonna have Earth Splitter coming up very soon. This is oh, hi Silencer. That is very high toss. See if they maybe are going to respond to this. Like, Nappy's full resources. I think they can at least kill Nameless and maybe punish more. So they've got the lasso. Like, Nappy's just going to kill Nameless as soon as they unpause. And sadly is going to die. They come down from the toss. And all of Qhali is here. Primal's going to be respawning and does have a teleport. I'm curious if this is going to break out into a huge fight when we resume. Good way to export that. As getting a little spicy. All right, let's see how this fight shakes out. All of that aside. They get the kill on Sadly, Nappy looks to get the turnaround kill on the Reason goes down before they can get the lasso off. Now Leonidas is in with the Stone Gaze on top of the Pulverize. The Earth Splitter will help bring in some damage. Yasuda gets the chains onto 2. Trying to bring down Qhali, who's coming in right off of the respawn. Astarte picks up the double kill. 1 kill for 3. They're going to get the root on Nappy now. Astarte brings down Qhali. Triple kill for Astarte. And mega kill streak for Aceto. Fully cleaning up.
Bottom tower has fallen.
So Qhali able to set up nicely off of the pause. Continue advancing their lead. 20-6, 9,000 net worth lead now. Continue to dominate most of this map and see if they start moving in onto the Dire side even more.
Where's the body?
Because LSM does stick around bot as the rest of the team leaves. Nappy on the respawn is going to get some room, but Nameless is in with the blink and a huge avalanche. It looks like LSM is still going to die. They'll use the Pulverize, but now Aceto showed up and Nappy is in trouble, will get tossed up and brought down. Now comes in with the lasso. Aceto's here, Sammy Lewis is taking out as well, and that's going to be a double kill for Nameless.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Alright, both teams gonna set up now. Around the jungle, smoke up on 2.
Radiant's bottom tower
Seeing if
is
anybody's
under
gonna
attack.
show up. Looks like Sadly will break the smoke on Aceto.
Radiant's
Now they're gonna find Leonidas on the back. They get the Global Silence to help protect their Medusa, who's going to turn with the Stone Gaze, and that's going to be a kill on Nameless. Aceto trying to zip away. Sadly finds the kill on Lewis and on Aceto. The curse takes out.
Double damage.
Almost finding the damage from Astarte onto Sadly. Going to back away. Electric Vortex is going to secure another kill on to LSM for Nappy. That results in a full... Oh, well, that's not the whole team fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under
The
attack.
0 for 4 in favor of Kingpins, who bounce back, find 5k net worth back in their favor. This game is going crazy as now Nameless gets jumped forward, tossed over to Astarte. On reason, they bring down the Bat Rider. Just an absolute back and forth of chaos with these teams. They look to continue on in TDL this week. Now Qhali looking to turn that last pick off into a Roche kill. We'll see if Kingpins get a sense that this is happening, but this might just be a free little sneak. As now sadly going to need to pause. So I think this is still just going to be a free Roshan for the side of Qhali. Sadly, he's picked up the Pathis. Leonidas farming away, working on that Scotty, has the Mantis Tower. Looks like we'll be good to go.
The quest for ultimate glory continues.
And Qhali will be able to finish up this contested.
Mighty Roshan forever. Radiance reflects in every
Aegis on Asarte. Working on the Silver Edge.
Stupendous!
It seems Silver Edge very popular
tower
in
is under
builds
attack.
throughout our series.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is
Link
under
is ready
attack.
to go on Batrider, working on the Force Staff as well. Just trying to get as much positioning as possible. Pushing up into this mid lane. So far, not contesting this push in the top lane by
Dire's top
Qhali.
tower is under attack.
Work on bringing down this tower. Looks like this tier 2 will be given
Radiant's
up.
middle tower is under attack.
And so far, it's not even looking like it'll be a trade for the mid tower. Now there's more creeps coming in, so they might commit further onto it.
Dire's
Tower
top
is
tower
brought
has
down.
fallen.
Like a spot nameless going over, or, sorry, Reason going over for this Wisdom rune. Put a stop to that. Pick up the rune on nameless, and they're going to turn that into a Tormentor. Going to Elder Titan or Tiny, it will go to the Elder Titan. Lower Echo Stomp cooldown. And it lets him swap places, so big movement option for Elder Titan. Be interesting to see how much that gets used. Isn't a hero that we've seen quite as much of as some of the other supports. Mid tower does end up falling, but Qhali will smoke up and eventually go on a hunt.
Enemies.
Trying to get more out of the 3 minutes left. They're going to step up onto the high ground, try to back away, blink forward from the start is there. Throwing out the damage on to Sadly. Street Toss in there too. Avalanche doesn't quite connect, so that'll allow Nappy to walk away. Starty's in deep now. Smoke is going to cancel the last hit. Astarte up on the high ground, getting brought low. LSM's here with the mechanism. They won't find the Aegis yet. Still 2.5 minutes to go.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Final Beast has the BKB ready to go. Curly farming super deep in the Radiant jungle.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Astarte with 2 minutes left on this Aegis. See if they want to go for another play before it expires, or if they'll just mostly use it for farming. Reason hanging out, waiting for somebody to show up to this lane, or maybe just push it in themselves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Leonidas has the Scotty finished, so Kingpins have been able to find some space.
Dire's bottom
Storm
tower
Spirit, same
is
build as
under
last
attack.
game. With the 3 swords and setting up for the
Is no
BKB
more.
next. Reason
Dire's
is going to
bottom
find
tower is
that top
under
tower.
attack.
And go over
Radiant's
to
top
grab
tower is
that
under
Watcher.
attack.
Looking just kind of chilling. Another tower these towers just going down fully uncontested across the map on both sides, which is very interesting. The rotation in now as they finally find Qhali in the jungle, but it looks like this Primal Beast will be able to escape fine. The Blink Dagger and a Halberd queued up. Start going to walk into a few heroes under the effects of Shadow Blade and into a Sentry. So Qhali's going to get pulverized into the lasso. That's going to be one kill down. Here comes Qhali. The root into the Global Silence and the Avalanche. Trying to bring down Reason is going to finally fall. So you're jumping through all of these heroes. Stone Gaze is going to get them to back off of it, and sadly will be the next to fall. So 2 kills so far on the back of that Aegis. Leonidas able to TP away. So overall, not too bad, only losing their supports on the side of Kingpins. I missed how much time was left on that Aegis. There was not much time left. It was in the last minute, for sure. Would have been a very different story if they'd found that after the Aegis expired. That's why Astarte was playing so close to all this here. You know, they had the safety of the Aegis. They're going to get a Zip 4, but they get the blink away and immediately into the root, and Cookie the damage on Nappy. Able to get the Force Staff, very nice save from Reason. Now he's going to be in trouble as the Echo Stomp comes out. So far, no one will.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Continuing to set up on this tower. This one will be contested as a very nice scene into the toss, and Earth Splitter brings down Nappy. Damage from Astarte will finish off Qhali as well. Leonidas is able to turn around and with the help of Sadly brings down LSM, but now they're going to bring down damage onto this Medusa. Her mana pool is gone, and now so is her life. Find the kill on Reason as well. Get the Yules up. Trying to bring down Sadly. It'll be a full team wipe in exchange for a 5-3. It'll be the last tier 2 tower on the Dire side picked up by Qhali.
Dire's middle tower is no more. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to immediately convert that into yet another tower, and with this Desolator, they're going to threaten the barracks as well. You have Storm Spirit and Primal Beast respawning. Storm Spirit's going to teleport in, maybe look for a Zip. The Astarte playing a little bit low on health.
Are under attack.
Has the Shard as well as another silence option for Storm Spirit. Going to zip in onto the Ember Sphere. Immediately they get the blink in, the Global Silence is out, and Nappy goes down. And this is going to potentially open things up even more for Qhali to continue their push in. The Escalator hitting away at the barracks. Cookie forward with the Force Staff will get them away. And they will finish off. Not quite able to finish off the middle barracks. Now they're going to get the lasso, but immediately the response is there with the save. Cookie is out. Blink away from Astarte. LSM gets stunned up, but is able to escape as well, and Qhali are just going to walk it off. But Kingpins do successfully defend their melee barracks, which will begin to regen up. Means they want more. Blink forward, they're going to try to find Sadly, but Leonidas is there nearby with the Mystic Snake.
Dominating performance.
Mosquito flies in on a Remnant that was still out in the base and is able to find the kill on Sadly. While we continue to poke away at this base, they want to finish off this melee barracks. Not sure they have the resources to do so. A couple minutes until we get the next Roshan spawn. They know that there's the possibility of it spawning. They don't know where in that 0 to 3 minute range it's going to land for the actual respawn.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire scanning for enemies.
Well, consider heading out that way. It looks like it will spawn on the Dire side and be there for a little bit of time before moving over to the Nappy. Kaya Sanj ends up being sent before the BKB. It's getting some softer
Stupendous!
in the form of status resist. has the double damage rune in the bottle. Finish up the Hurricane Pike.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Qhali look to now push in towards this top lane, but they're also, for some reason, trying to push over here, and they'll get the catch with the avalanche. And just so much damage coming out from the start here. The Nameless actually does end up getting the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Unitas has a Silver Edge of their own finished up, now looking towards the Dragon Lanes, most likely into a Hurricane Pike. Things that come out, they're going to join Nappy down in this lane. So, they're going to get the setup, but he has the Remnant and is able to escape. Roshan has respawned, but it looks like Qhali, for now, is not going to be considering going for it. They pop the double damage rune, which looks like it's time to push. There's quite a few heroes from Kingpins out on the other side of the field. Might be a pretty free tier 3 tower. See if we get any rotations back, or if they're going to give this one up as well.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just to take more damage to deal to it. 25 health remaining. It'll be denied by Leonidas.
Denied.
That's going to open up another set of barracks, potentially. But it seems like Qhali, they know that Roshan should have respawned at this point. Yeah, the line is drawn. Lewis calls it out. They're going to take Rosh. Heading out across the map. It's going to give up some map control. Kingpins will be able to take. It's an interesting dynamic of the move of the Rosh pit out of the river, out to the corners. But now, you can't control the map and control Rosh at the same time. You have to choose one, and usually it's best to choose one. There's going to be a smoke here. See what they chase out. If they're going to find anything, but Qhali is already moving out towards the Rosh pit. And Startate's already starting. There is going to be a collision out here in the bottom lane. Lewis is able to survive. He gets the pulverize onto Aceto. Now the Global Silence comes out, able to dodge it off. Lewis will be the first to fall. Whenever gets to come out, Aceto is going to teleport away. Nameless getting chased well. Now the Roshan is finished. Stargate is ready to join the fight with 2 lives. Nappy zipping through, but Stargate going to tear apart early. Damage from Leonidas is eventually going to overcome Nameless. Now Stargate in a little bit of trouble. Not a lot of friends in the area. Will get one respawn, but
they're unstoppable.
To get out.
Double kill.
Besides it, but now there's help from Qhali incoming. Stargate sits and waits by Lotus Pool. Leonidas will find the first kill. The crits come out already low on mana, and another amazing avalanche from Nameless. LSM jumps in with a cookie to follow up. But another full team wipe in Qhali's favor. Triple kill for Aceto. And Astarte uses the Aegis and gets exactly what they came for. The one team fight. See if they're able to turn that into a high ground push. They do have a few heroes respawning already and some buybacks to work with.
Each brave courier knows this.
It's not going to instantly be more buildings falling. Kingpins will get a good chance to defend this.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Okay, Qhali started a while ago. Desolator attacks, trying to tear apart those melee barracks. It looks like with no Storm Spirit or Medusa for now, they will be able to bring this down as soon as the Fortifight is going to buy some more time for Nappy to respawn. They get the silence. Now the toss-up onto Sadly, who just completely evaporates. Damage from Nameless on the support side. Gonna turn into another barracks. Buyback from Sadly in time with the Medusa respawn. Going to just immediately TP out. Try to set something up. Global Silence is going to be into the Stone Gaze. The Pulverized setup as well. The Silence is out on Nappy. zipping through, trying to survive, trying to find a kill on Astarte now.
Monster kill.
Osito, meanwhile, in the backline, there's two different fights happening, trying to bring down Sadly again.
Double
and Navi
kill.
ends up falling. Astarte survives. They get the setup onto Leonidas, who fall as well.
Double
Qhali goes down.
Of a generation.
Qhali take game 1 in pretty decisive fashion. Just overwhelming lead from the start. Qhali get into the driver's seat early and never turn back. That'll do it for game 1. Really just an impressive showing from the higher seed, as we kind of expect. We'll see if Kingpins can find some of that momentum that they found in the first series and be able to bounce things back. We're going to have a quick break, and then we'll get right into game 2. Alright, we are back for game number 2 between Kingpins and Qhali. Qhali took a pretty decisive game number 1. We're going to see if Kingpins are able to bounce back for this game number 2. So let's get into the draft.
It is Radiant's ban.
Curious how things are going to change up from game 1 to game 2. See how Kingpins want to answer the draft of Qhali from last game.
10 seconds.
Eventually see
5
the
seconds.
TA stolen away, as Kingpins did play it earlier today. Stop Qhali from getting it.
It is Dire's ban.
See if Kingpins go back to what they were playing earlier in the day with like a faster paced draft after the moves didn't work out for them in that game.
Dire's turn to ban.
It's similar bans. The Snapfire does get banned out this time, so that will not be on the table for first pick.
Radiant's turn to pick. Dire must choose.
The Undying waits.
Undying makes it through the bans for, I believe, the first time in any of the games we've watched today. So that will be the first pick for Qhali. We're going to see what Kingpin's answer to it is going to be.
To pick.
Templar Assassin.
They will steal the Templar Assassin early and pick up the Clockwork. We expect to see this Templar Assassin in the mid lane, and we saw a lot of Clockwork from KNGI. They played it twice. This time we'll get to see Reason play it. I've been enjoying watching Reason a lot in these two series.
5 seconds remain.
So I'm excited to see how this Clockwork looks in their hands. See what Qhali are going to respond with for their last pick to round out this first phase of the draft. Most likely going to see a core, maybe even a carry pickup that they can then protect with the series of bans. And it is, in fact, going to be the Terrorblade. So Qhali are going to lean more towards the late game this time
Dire's turn to ban.
and set up an Undying Terrorblade safe lane, most likely. Hey, Juvu. Welcome over from the series that you were casting. How did your games go?
10 seconds remain.
I suppose you'll have to answer me in 5 minutes because of the delay.
5 seconds.
Yeah, we're here. Game number 2 of round 2. Qhali's up 1-0. Already seeing a very different draft with Snapfire banned out and Undying making it through instead. Elder Titan going to get banned out, so they do respect the pick from Kingpins last time, and the Bat Rider. Now that Kingpins have already locked in their potential position for, going to stop the Bat Rider from going through again. Reason not playing it. Although this Clockwork might be a position 5 because there's not a lot of popular ranged offlaners right now. So it's a little harder to get away with
10 seconds.
Melee position with the
5
melee
seconds
position.
remain.
Most teams try to prioritize having a good balance in their lanes of melee and range.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Broodmother gonna get banned out by Kingpins as well. Haven't seen any Broodmothers yet. I think this is the first time we've seen it contested in our games today. So interesting that they are perhaps worried that alongside the Terrorblade, like that's going to be a hero that makes a ton of space
5 seconds.
to set up this Terrorblades game. We saw Timbersaw getting a lot of bans, but that might have been more of a KNGI specialty. That's why we're not seeing it banned out here. But I feel like it could be good, again, like similar to the Broodmother, of like a good early game space creator that's going to set up an easier game for Terrorblade to farm in. He's already with this Kingpins draft of TA Clockwork, like, they're going to be trying to hunt this Terrorblade.
It is Dire's ban.
Phantom Lancer will be the last ban of the phase for Qhali. One more ban to come from Kingpins. We'll see if it's something else that they respect out of last game, or something that's going to mix it up a little bit.
5 seconds remain.
Maybe also something to protect. I mean, it's hard to protect a Templar Assassin these days because you can always fall back on getting blood grenades to get through refraction. So I think more likely, if anything, it'll be taking away something they're particularly scared of, or
Dire must choose.
Protecting something they're going to pick in this phase rather than that they've already. Ember Spirit will be the call for that ban. Was a very impressive performance from Osita last game. So that is going to be a respect ban.
10 seconds
shaking
remain.
Up the mid lane matchup.
5
Overall,
seconds.
It was a pretty even lane from the laning phase. And honestly, they did similar things. I think there was just a little too much lockdown for the Storm Spirit to be able to get away with everything you wanted to do. And they also didn't end up getting a mana battery for the Storm Spirit, so that makes this game a little harder than you'd like it to be. We'll see. Expecting another support pickup here for Kingpins to continue and kick off the second phase of the draft. We'll have to see what it is they want here. Something to balance out the clockwork. They're going to go with a Pugna, so maybe setting up this to be... We saw Nappy play the Templar Assassin earlier. This could be setting up a carry Templar Assassin because they liked using the Pugna as a battery
10
for
seconds.
the Storm.
5 seconds remain.
Maybe they feel like with what they're seeing so
Radiant's
far,
turn, Dire's turn.
oh, they're going to steal the Storm Spirit on Qhali, which likely means, yeah, right into
of the light.
So that's going to be your mid laner and then your position. Well, this is a little weird because you now have an Undying and a Keeper of the Light, which both want to be position 5
seconds.
Which almost makes me wonder if they're going to bump this Undying over to position 3. I don't know that that's been something that teams are doing at all. So now, what do you answer this with? You've already got, like, it's not an amazing Storm Spirit game. You get the silence from TA. It's a little punished by Pugna. I'm curious now what else, like, if they're going to focus on something for this Storm Spirit. The Skywrath Mage was banned out, so that was a little bit of an indication that Qhali was going to go for the Storm Spirit. Like, that silence is one of the most devastating silences against the Storm Spirit. Kingpins go for the Mars, which is interesting. So yeah, I think they're not thinking about the Storm Spirit pick with that pick because Storm Spirit can move pretty freely in and out of a Mars arena. I think they're more looking at that as an answer for the Terrorblade, something that can really zone him off from his team, stop him from getting helped out by, like, the Grab Ally and by the Coddle. It does, like, you can use it to zone the Coddle away from the Storm Spirit so that he can't get in there with the Mana Restore and the cooldown reduction off of Chakra Magic. So I kind of like that pick. It also, like, you're still looking at early game tempo, and you've got the push from the Pugna that's going to up your early game tempo as well. now we get into the last couple of bands. So we're looking for potentially a mid, but most likely a carry for Kingpins, and then either an off lane or a support for Qhali. I think probably an off lane. It's just a weird support duo to have Undying and keep. Probably getting deeper into their reserve time. Very little left for Kingpins in reserve. Qhali do have the advantage of a little bit of extra time to think here about what they want to take away. I would potentially prioritize carries like an Ursa. I mean, Ursa's pretty bad right now. But, like, carries that are going to be good at hitting the Tombstone, because they're also going to be good at hitting the Keeper of the Light Ags once he gets it. They're going to ban Puck, so they're still thinking that this is a carry Templar Assassin, which I think is still very possible. But having seen Nappy play the Templar Assassin earlier today,
10 seconds remain.
I think it's more likely that it's mid, but I mean, the idea could just be that it's a flex pick. I don't know if Leonidas plays it or not. Okay, they're going to ban the Beastmaster, so they are thinking that this is not an off-lane Undying, which I think is most likely the case. You just need something. You need more lockdown on the side of Qhali. Like, your supports give you no lockdown. You gotta disarm. Your only stun right now, and you've got some slows, but your only stun is Electric Vortex, which is not a super reliable stun. You need something else that's going to fill that gap, which is why you see the Beastmaster Tidehunter banned out.
Dire's turn to pick.
We're going to go for the Underlord, so it's not a stun, but it is a nice route. Is going to help mitigate a lot of that early game from Kingpins, and potentially set up some early push of their own. I mean, I've seen successful drafts that don't have much stun, but that's my primary concern. Kingpins are going to go for the Meepo. It's going to be another Nappy Meepo. We did see this earlier, so it is a carry Templar Assassin. The Meepo is... It's okay. It's going to help you... Like, it's something that's going to help you kill the Tombstone, kill the Coddle Ags. Like, those two things are good. But Into the Underlord feels a little scary. He's got a ton of AoE damage. I guess they don't have much AoE damage other than that. I mean, they've got K, kind of it. So maybe it's an okay Meepo game. This Mars set is sick. It's going to be Reason on the Pugna, so it is going to be a 5 clockwork.
10 seconds remain.
Or sadly.
5 seconds remain.
Means it's going to be laning with Leonidas on the TA. That lane into Underlord and Undying, or Underlord and Keeper of the Light sounds hard for Kingpins. Like, I think it's going to be hard for this TA to get off to a good start, trying to sit with the clockwork. We'll see if it works out. I like that they saved this flex potential for the last pick. Yeah, overall, I think I prefer the Kingpins. But I think it's going to be hard, based on what we saw last game, for them to out-execute Qhali with this draft. Whereas Qhali, I think their draft is pretty straightforward. My main concern is just a lack of disables. But I think they have heroes that are going to bring a ton of early pressure, and that's going to kind of make for it. That's going to get us into this game number 2. Qhali looking to move on to the next round with another win. Are going to get the smoke out from Qhali. Kingpin's trying to bounce back, force this to a game 3. Continue on to the quarterfinals. I'm guessing their opponent has already been decided. I think we're the last series of the round because we've had a lot of pauses and we had a game 3 first. But I'm not sure. Both teams gonna set up a little bit. Kind of around the middle.
I'll always remember how foolish you look. Oh, that's no good.
See, okay, now they're gonna come and make a move on to Nappy, but all of Kingpins is sitting there. I think that was an attempt to cliff the Meepo with, I mean, not really cliff, but just force him back up out of the river. I think that's why the tips are coming. That should have been a dead Meepo, potentially. Unitas is just fully melted on. I was gonna pop out and we're gonna get a huge 5-man fight.
First blood.
5 on 5. First blood is in favor of Nappy, bringing down the Undying. That rune got left there for way too long. Very nice Nether Blast to finish off the Qhali kill. Reason does trade their own life for it. Oh, and that kill actually goes to Osido, so with the first blood already picked out, that's actually not an amazing trade by Reason, because that's going to give Osido, going to negate more of that first blood, and actually, because some heroes had already left or died, Osido's actually going to be the first one to level 2, ending up with more experience despite Nappy getting the first blood. Down in the bot lane.
Oh yeah.
Expect to see a good amount of pressure coming out from Reason, but it's hard into the Undying. This is potentially a pretty fighty lane. Osido already burning through a lot of that mana. In this lane, I, again, expect to be pretty hard for a Clockwork TA. He's one Undying bottle, but we'll see how Kingpins are able to make it work. I think at the beginning of the draft, the plan was not to have these two heroes together. It's just my kind of hunch. He's going to step forward, he'll throw it down with Firestorm. He's getting brought pretty low, but should be able to block this off, gets the cogs down. Meanwhile, the real action is happening in bot lane. Because Lewis finds the kill on Qhali, and Astarte is going to bring down Reason. We go 2 for nothing down in the bot lane off of the first usage of the Tombstone. Yeah, this is a scary lane too. Pops him out of, like, there's really big timings, but both of these heroes, between Tombstone and Metamorphosis, like, basically get their ultimate before level 6. So whenever those cooldowns are up, it's going to be really hard to survive for Kingpins down in that lane. Sadly, he's still getting brought down low, but able to survive again. In the mid lane, Osido off to a small lead against Nappy. The XP's evened up pretty close. On the level 4. This doesn't matter because that's when Nappy would get their second Meepo. Now Osido is going to chase forward, drops the tree to try to block, but it's not going to be enough. And Osido picks up the kill. Action continues in the bot lane as well as Qhali brings down Lewis.
Dire should look to their middle tower.
He's maybe looking for more. Starting a little low, still has a while on the Metamorphosis.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Osido able to steal that bounty rune. He's up top. Sadly, once again, going to be sadly walking back to base because they're so low on resources.
I do not thank.
Comes out from Leonidas, missed what that was for.
Dire structures are fortified.
Also, I'm going to be able to bring those creeps back over. Now we're going to get Classic coddle stuff from Nameless. Set up some stacking, get that going. Bot side, Reason got forced back to base as well. It was pretty fun back. Now they're going to commit the Tombstone. They've got Metamorphosis coming up in just a second. But everything's kind of already put in, so it's going to be hard to find much. They won't commit the Metamorphosis yet. Lewis will chase forward and get some vision over in the Dire Triangle. Nappy rotating the Meepos in and out, able to still keep getting last hits. Now it's going to actually look forward with a Poof and a Root. Sets up the second net. Next to Vortex is going to be close, they will just fully trade. Like, simultaneously go down.
Fortified their structures against attack.
Meepo's the one who gets the experience, because Storm Spirit dies first. But that last remnant pops and finishes off the kill. Supports like, wow, Lewis is so far back over here, just chasing Lewis down and giving so much space to the Starbase. Well, only at 18 last hits, but 10 denies, so definitely like pretty even with a 26 and 1. Both heroes at level 6 in the mid lane. We're going to get another Electric Vortex from Osito, forcing Nappy to back away a bit. Bot lane. Find a kill. Guessing just went down to the tower there. No, it's just some creep damage. Gets stunned up. Oh, okay, so they got a nice spear in there. I missed like every kill in this game because there have been so many and there's been so much action in the other lanes at the same time. So they're overall farming pretty safely here. I mean, everybody's, like, despite all of these scrappy little fights, now sadly is going to find Osito, try to interrupt the stacks being taken, and he does end up getting denied by the neutral creeps. But this is going to be, with the haste rune, Storm Spirit picking up one of the stacks. While bot side can get over here in time this time, Reason trying to run away. Astarte, though, in the Metamorphosis, is going to go down, so it ends up being a trade in favor of the side of Kingpins, and Nappy making rotation down. They're going to turn towards Lewis as well. There's so many Tombstone zombies, though. This spot up on the high ground. The zombies are going to finish off Morris and Meepo.
Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double kill.
Double kill for Lewis off of the Tombstone up on the high ground. And the fact that Reason dies first means there was nobody to get vision up there. An excellent use of the ward spot to get those turnaround kills. Astartes does still die, so it's, you know, an interesting trade, but that makes it more in favor of Qhali. Most of the gold going the way of Position 5. Off of taking those stacks, you've got Osito up at the top of the net worth, but pretty close overall. Mars at the bottom of the cores. But lane overall been going alright. 2-2 and 4. It's been 8-7 at 8 minutes in. Very scrappy. The scrapping continues as Lewis is going to be up here trying to get some vision. Osito going to join. They're going to look for a kill on the Reason. Gets the other ward down. Throws out a bug grenade, but it won't be enough. Sadly, he's going to rotate over here too, and more help is on the way. But Nameless is on the way in too, and so Nappy. Sadly, trying to find the cogs. Actually ends up getting Lewis out of the arena. They find the kill on Osito. Lewis gets the return kill on Sadly, but then falls to Nappy himself. Really looking for more, but doesn't find the spear on Nameless. The Keeper of Light will be a walk away. The tips are in full force after a little bit of bickering over pauses in the first game. Which the pauses were completely fine. Neither team used more than their allotted pause time. So, bit of a spicy one, which can always be fun when the teams are getting, you know, as long as it's still overall fun. Now things will settle down for what feels like the first time all game. Never mind, I'm just looking in the wrong direction. Astarte picks up a kill with the Metamorphosis. Another Metamorphosis Tombstone combo. Getting big use out of those big cooldowns. Reason's gonna drop another ward, maybe try to do something to defend this, but no help is coming, and now he's in a bit of a dangerous space. Tombstone zombie spawns and Zito zips in. Reason's going to get brought down. Kingpins will bring a few more heroes over, but the tower is already fallen. Astarte is going to steal the health bar of Lewis, who's using the salve. That health too much. They're going to get the arena on Astarte, who maybe stayed too long. They get the spear. Damage is there in the arena. LSM rotates in. They're going to try to get something off of the back of this. Zito looking for a kill on Sadly, but able to get up the high ground to escape. He's now stepping up with the side blade damage, and the spear throws him back. Comes out, but Zito able to zip to dodge it out. Now be working on that Rod of Atos to give them even more setup. The side of Kingpins.
Stupendous!
This game continues to be very even and very brawly.
Middle tower. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is in danger.
Now they'll continue to fight down in this bottom lane as the push comes out. Reason throwing down the Nether Blasts. Looks like Kingpins will choose to back away now as a few more heroes make their way down.
Is under attack.
But Yasha finished on the Terror Blade, matched by the Dragon Lance. Leonidas, they're going to get the root, which is finished by Nappy. Set up another root and a pushback from the Cogs, killing spree for Nappy as they bring down the Cedar. Bot side, another arena is not enough to save Mars. 3 heroes find the kill on the Dire offlane.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
Rock it on! Comes out. Scouting out Lewis and the Nether Blast up on the high ground. They're going to be able to find the Undying. Maybe look for more. The Rod of Atos connects onto Nameless, but able to escape.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is in danger.
He does find a stack here. He'll be able to farm. He's still trying to find a little farm around the mid lane.
To me!
Leonidas getting close to Desolator. Could have it in just a moment. Gonna be a big timing that they're able to play around on the right side. This mid lane setting up on Nappy, on Aceto again. Able to get the zip away, it'll be just enough, and now Nappy might be the one who's in trouble. Able to get the proof down to the low ground. Oh, nice hook shot from Sadly. Next on to Lewis, but Aceto's still there with the damage. Tombstone gets dropped. Lewis is now the one caught out in the river. Will go down. Aceto will be able to trade for
Mega kill.
Clockwork, but then will fall to the damage. Onto a start 8. Reason just holding their ground. Sunder has already been used. Spear onto the tree. Connects. Sets up another life drain. But looks like LSM will be able to just block it off. settle down a little bit again. 14-14 at 14 minutes. Net worth lead. This looks like a big net worth lead from the graph. There's just never been a big net worth lead. It's less than 1,000, so it's never been more than 1,000.
Double damage!
Incredibly close game.
Tower
So
is in danger.
it's really going to come down to who has.
They're unstoppable.
On to Nameless, get a quick Qhali pickup as they push into. Okay, so meanwhile in the mid lane, all of a sudden sets up onto Reason. Kingpins is trying to push down this tower. He's going to get a life drain, the help is on the way. Reason is actually going to survive for now. The 2 strokes down, but Lewis is going to fall. Sadly, blocks off their path with the cogs. Actually, it's going to survive for now with the spear, and the net misses. So somehow Lewis escapes from all of that.
Radiant's
There's a
bottom
big
tower
walking it off.
is
We
in
go
danger.
find a rune. No problem at all.
I must have them
Somehow
all.
that ends up being a 1-for-1. Oh, that was completely elsewhere. I missed that. Leonidas got a kill on a seal. Kingpins really bouncing back in this game. At least making it a lot closer. Now Lucido is back, zips in, get the blind light on the low ground. Hook starting now. Follow up, sadly, find the kill on to Reason. Ends up doing a trade as Matthew finds a kill on Lewis as well. Comes in off the back line. Now the zip they find, sadly, is going to fall.
No whining now.
Dire's middle tower has
Another out of Atox, out onto Lucido. Matthew trying to get away, but they get the electric vortex into the arena to try to save, and that gives enough space for Matthew to escape. Leonidas is up, waiting on the high ground, blinks before the pit of Miles can connect and finds the kill onto Lucido
bottom
once
tower
again.
is under attack.
Lead
A dominating
starting to
performance. Double
form,
kill.
and now another kill for Leonidas. Finding Lewis lurking in the area. Atos comes out and set up the roots. Everybody's roots. More Meepos coming. Now the crit.
Mega kill.
No, just the
Impossible.
regular attack. No crits yet. Now they find the setup with the spear
My favorite kill
onto
is
the
the monster.
Underlord. And all of a sudden, Kingpins taking the biggest lead that we've had in the game, up 2K.
Radiant should look to their middle tower. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant have fortified their structures against attack.
So Kingpins will turn this into the mid tier 1 tower.
Has fallen.
We'll bring that tower down off of the back of the fight and continue building a bit of a lead. Templar Assassin and Meepo up on the top of the network. This game stays pretty even. It's going to be on them to out late game with Everblade and Storm Spirit. Definitely going to be interesting to see if Qhali are able to keep this game close, or if this is an opportunity for Kingpins to run away with it. Qhali are going to smoke up. Lewis scouting out ahead. The rest of Qhali lagging a little bit behind. It'll be a warding mission with Lewis. They're going to see this Meepo in the mid lane, but do they have enough lockdown to set up? Now, the dewarding is going to spot out Nameless. Looks like that will be end of a chance for any further push. Unitas is going to pop through the gate. Doesn't quite see a Starte farming here. And they're going to look to take a Roshan here. It looks like Kingpins should be able to get away with this. Sadly, his scouting out, I think, has the idea that a Starte is farming over here, and that's going to just make even more space for this Roshan to happen.
Dire should look to their top
There's
tower.
no sign of Qhali responding with this. It's going to be in the hands of the Meepo.
Huzzah!
the Mega Meepo is online as well. With that Aghanim Scepter. It's potentially going
Radiant's
to be
top tower
a pretty
is
scary one.
under
Now they're going to rotate down, defend their Wisdom Rune. It's actually been there for a few minutes, and defend their top.
Radiant should look to their top tower. Radiant's top tower has
Invisibility.
Unitas will pick up the tower, blinks forward. Lewis just kind of chilling down here. They
Radiant's
have
top tower
vision of
is in
Aceto. Sadly, maybe thinking about looking for a connection. With the hook cut. They are going to chase with the Meepo. It's going to be Lewis that they find. Gets the Pavis off.
They're
It's not going to be
unstoppable.
enough to survive.
Ownage.
Unitas throws out one little attack to pick up that kill. Now back to farming for now. Still while on the Aegis, we'll see if Kingpins look to make a play with the Aegis. Or if they'll just more try to farm with it. Maybe looking for something with this shield rune on Qhali. Also has the Blink Dagger working on the BKB, but does not have a lot of items. Meepo quickly picks up the Tormentor, free shard for Pugna. Reason is going to enjoy that. Shard is quite good to get that AoE life drain going off of the Nether Ward. Both teams kind of playing up around this top tower, gonna get scouted out by Sadly. Rocket Flare. Cuddle gonna be able to push back the waves. Zip forward from Aceto, Qhali is there with the spear. So it's gonna get dropped. This is gonna be an interesting fight now. The arena going to get committed. Qhali are here, trying to bring down this Mars. One more spear is not going to be enough. Ledge will come out. Aceto needs to be careful. Go be able to zip away. Now they turn towards Kingpins. Once again, goes for the life stream. That's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Now he goes for the kill and moves and dies back. Looking to bring down Nables as well, chasing forward. Zombies are hitting the Tormentor, which is damaging everybody. Astartes now in with the Metamorphosis. Can they bring down Napu? Finally they do. But that's only the first life. They're going to set up on this Meepo again. Everybody's loaded. Get the root. One Chariot. Astartes still just teeing off on this Meepo. They've got one locked in place and they bring down Nappy again. Aceto wants more to zip forward, finds the but he's invisible and comes out of meld to kill Aceto.
Had you but eyes.
They've been absolutely punishing the Storm Spirit in this game. But overall, huge fight for Qhali. Brings down the Aegis, brings down the Meepo a second time. Does cost them a buyback on the Undying, but doesn't die a second time. So overall, 2-for-4, massive fight. Pretty close. Keep it looking like they've got a great chance of closing out this series in 2 games. But man, Kingpins have put up a fight. Like, this is your 12 or 13 seed up against your Kingpins are making this look really good. Despite sadly falling and getting some vision. Aceto. That's really, but Nappy's in with the Rotovatos.
I do not thank.
Bounty!
Still making some moves, still got a bit of a lead. A lot of net worth on this Templar Assassin. Working on MKB in preparation for the butterfly that's being built by Terrorblade. So it looks like Terrorblade probably isn't going to get any time with this butterfly before Templar Assassin already has an MKB. It will still help with the Meepo, who is not going to build an
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cypher Device is mid lane. Aceto gets forward. on the reason. Hookshot is there, and with the Glimmer Cape, it's going to be enough to now to push back another ward. Casita will be able to back away. As well. Top lane Qhali is setting up around this tower. Really pushing in with the illusions. It looks like this tier 2 will be falling. Other side of the map. Leonidas has taken one recently as well. Qhali will pick up the outpost on their way out of this area as well. Smoke up for 4 on the side of Kingpins.
Middle tower is under attack.
They're marching through the Radiant side of the map, but most of Qhali is on the other side.
Is under attack.
To get some scouting information, oh, not quite gonna see anybody with where that rocket flare lands. They might still collide here.
On the hunt for Radiant forces. Top tower is under attack.
Still scouting out. That's gonna show them Nameless and maybe also Astartes. I think they're just gonna turn towards
Radiant's
the
courier has been killed.
Saw the rocket flare come in and knows they're in danger. Another rocket flare comes through and starts TPing one hit.
Is under attack.
The hookshot does not quite connect. And somehow the Keeper really survives the smoking. And Astartes, completely unfazed, just still farming up here on the opposite side of the map. And is actually going to get a Fiend's Gate. Get safely brought down to bot side. I like that little Fiend's Gate play. It does still show up on the map, that's why you saw the rocket flare immediately go over there. So like, why are they gating that random spot on the map? Ah, it's getting terrible.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm over here.
Tito has the BKB finish, picks it up before the Kaya this time. A little different from the build that Nappy has been going for.
Swiftly to the temple's defense.
That's a timing that it looks like Qhali want to smoke around. There's quite a few heroes in the area here. They are going to get the wraparound. Rocket Flare comes out. They're going to go forward on Sadly. They're going to find a walk off. Tito sits right in the middle. Sadly will go down. Now Qhali, they're going to step forward and keep looking for more. They committed the Metamorphosis. They want to find more than just a Clockwork.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
At the very least, they're going to turn towards this tower. But all of Kingpins, now they're smoking up. They're wrapping around behind. So this could spell trouble if they can find the jump.
Fortified.
Qhali has the Blink Dagger and the BKB ready to get in.
Dire's middle
Looking for the right spot to set
attack.
up. Waiting for more of this Metamorphosis to go down. Here's the BKB, here's the Blink to get the spear. Look at the life drain. Starbase able to stone off. Gets off the Sunder to bring down below, but able to escape the house. Starbase still is going to get brought down. Lewis getting torn apart as well by Leonidas. So Kingpins bounce back with a huge fight in defense of their tier 2 tower.
Rattle him, yeah!
Chaotic brawl continues. Biggest lead of the game so far now for Kingpins. 9k ahead. Keep on pushing towards these buildings. Take out Radiant mid tier 2. Nappy looking for more. Up onto the high ground.
Killing spree.
Decimates Keeper And with that pickoff, they'll convert that into yet another tower. All of the outer towers taken now on the Radiant side. Cito is smoked up, maybe looking for something.
The hidden
Nobody else
ones
in the
have
smoke.
blessed me.
Not necessarily. Roshan will be up in 40 seconds. That's, especially for Kingpins, going to be the next big objective. I think that's going to be Qhali's biggest opportunity to battle back. LSM walks into the smoke, the speed doesn't connect, they still have plenty of damage coming in. Speeder now jumping in. LSM gets absolutely blown up. Speeder gets off the DK, he's trying to find more. As the Underlord is already low on health. The Stargaze used the Metamorphosis. The illusion gets leaking. Now the Hex is here. The Sight device is finished with Nappy, but gets the Sunder off. And Canister is turning around. No, he's going to get speared up. Life drain down. Kingpins with a big battle back in Game 2. Looking to even out this series, send it to another Game 3.
Players here.
Now 14,000 gold ahead, 30 to 23.
Middle tower is under attack.
And with the terribly dead, they're going to immediately look towards this middle tower. He jumps forward, hits the scythe onto Lucido. They're going to be able to get some space. Shifts into Mega Repo. Now they can catch onto TA. Have they jumped too far in? Leonidas getting brought down. The heal is there. Sadly, is going to be the first to fall. Leonidas is so low, but it looks like he'll be able to escape. Here's the jump from Mosquito, finds Reason. Leonidas still hiding in the back. Nepo getting brought low as well, but able to dig out and escape. Comes out of the dig and they find Nappy. Qhali battle back. They smoke up. They want more. They know that that is just a dent in the lead that Kingpins have built. Smoke up, they throw down the Fiend's Gate, and they send themselves directly to the Roshan pit. Giant opening for Qhali here. Off the crucial fight. Asking for the Roshan, it's your responsibility to do that. It's not for Kingpin to do it. But I appreciate the effort.
Blessings.
So Aegis picked up, will be carried by Astartes. Lucido has the cheese. Looked for a big zip in. As the kite comes on. That's going to be the tower picked up. Lucido now finds sadly zip forward. They have the dust and that's going to bring down the clockwork. No! That's a shot back. Lucido's back in. Now gets pushed towards the wall. Nobody can get to Lucido to help. Zip forward. Forward in the base. Brings down Reason and Zit are back out. They will get the return kill onto Lewis with the arena. Buyback from Sadly is going to encourage Qhali to back up, but now Nappy is in, setting up on the cherry, but Stargaze is firing out with the Scotty attacks. Nappy is so close going down, but no, the Mega Meepo and the dig gets them out for now, but another Meepo is brought down. Osido does fall in exchange, but both Meepos will go down. They get the Sunder to get more health onto Stargaze, reset. Leonidas trying to find space, bring out the damage. The Stargaze falling low and no longer has the Sunder, trying to finish off Qhali, but they get the hook shot, and the Stargaze will go down for the first time. The rest of Qhali is already surged backing up. There's no BKB, there's no way out. They use the Fiend's They get the spell. Is it going to be enough? No, is not able to get through, and Leonidas brings down Astarte. Oh, this game is nutty. It's so close, it's been so swingy. It's been a Kingpin's lead for a while, but these fights from Qhali, they have continued to show up.
Regeneration.
Keep this game close. They'll finish off the Tormentor, get a shard for Clockwork. This jetpack is super useful for scouting and for escaping. Keeper of the Light working on the Aghanim Scepter. Have that big AoE disable. Could help their team quite a bit in these team fights, especially in fighting into the Mars arenas. We are seeing the Tormentors getting prioritized more than in past games. Can be fun to watch. Looks like Qhali set up on it. I think it's because this game is that both teams are just like, they're spending a lot more time sitting around farming, like not able to go and immediately take a fight. They need to get a pick off to take a fight. And so it's a lot easier to be like, yeah, we're not actively fighting, we're not too scared to go get the Tormentor, so it's a good thing that we can do in the meantime while we wait for the next fight, wait for our next timing. Scotty being worked on now by Nappy. That's going to be a big one. Nullifier is ready on the Terrorblade. And on the Templar Assassin as well. This dynamic of one carry getting a Butterfly and the other carry getting an MKB in like every game we've seen today has been interesting. Like, you don't see both carries getting both items. It's like one gets Butterfly and it forces the other to get MKB. And like, that's kind of a trade it seems like teams have decided they want to do. Smoke is there for Kingpins, but it will break. They get the hook shot up onto the high ground, but sadly says, not as interested. Interested in going in on that. Backs away. Got the Nether Ward as well, so that's a little bit of a time. Not a super long cooldown, but not a short cooldown. They're gonna start pushing in with these two siege creeps, and the getting blocked. Zips forward, finds all of Kingpin sitting there waiting, and starts a force to come back.
Dire structures are fortified.
That will relieve the pressure. Did get a good amount of damage on this tier 3, so almost was able to completely break it and keep the game symmetrical. You guys just having fun playing Dota. That's what I love to see. Smoke out now from Qhali. See where they want to take this. Kingpins are all pretty grouped up, so they're not going to find a pick-off unless they find this pack of meeples. And even then, with one meeple out in safety, they are going to dip in, get the Electric Vortex on the tree with the Aghanim Scepter. Gets the Mega Meeple off, but they also have the Aghanim Scepter. They're trying to bring down this Meeple, to survive long enough for his team to show up. Nappy gets caught in the room, Meeple goes down, Nappy's going to buy back. They fight around the arena now, and the big life drain all across the board, but it's not going to be enough. Mars falls as well, sadly goes down. Qhali, all of a sudden, things are looking scary. They find the Clockwork, they find Pugna, Leonidas just trying to walk away as 3 go down. 4 even after, before the buyback from Nappy.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Morphosis is going to be running out, so they'll be a little short on tower push, but the normal Terrorblade still does quite a bit, and they're going to get that tier 3 tower, and looking good to be able to get some barracks as well. This gets them, they do not get to zip in onto the United States. Nappy helping Leonidas find the space, he'll turn back towards the barracks and stop. Get the root onto the Terrorblade, force it back away as he mantas it off. Qhali, they push in towards the middle lane and then I think realize, oh, we haven't finished this tier 2 tower yet. 30 seconds left on the potential for Roche time. expect to see Qhali starting to consider that, and the lead is back down to 1,000 gold. A little bit more than that according to the charts. This game continues to be incredibly close. Qhali now favored on the win probability. Smoke up from Kingpins. 2 minutes is going to be a longer Roshan spawn. Team's going to start playing around it. Get the arena onto 3 immediately. Nimbus has gone down. The United States are huge electric vortex onto all of the depots, but it's not going to be enough as he goes down sadly as well. Buybacks all across the board. Qhali trying to bring this fight back. The start day has the Sunder, gets stunned up, is going to try to target. Hex up now, but Leonidas is falling. Double kill for Aceto off the buyback. Triple kill now. They're going to fully clean up. The Sunder helps secure the kill on the Meepo. All of Kingpins have fallen, and none of them have buybacks. A massive fight for Qhali, and this could be the nail in the coffin. This could be Qhali punching their ticket into the next round of the event. Sadly, we'll be respawning Reason as well. Can these two supports stave off the push? They've got another fortification.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Another tier 3 will go down. Looking for a set of barracks now. Cousin respawns. 10 seconds until they have Mars.
Dire's middle tower is no more.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Aceto finishes the off. Mid tier 2, exposing the final tier 3. Mars has respawned. They're going to start light draining through the ward with the shark. Start they step forward and bring down. Another ward now. Aceto zips in. Still 16 seconds without the Templar Assassin. No buybacks are available. This is going to be mega creeps. Qhali, they fight back up 10k now, and they're already turning towards the ancient. Tier 4s are going to fall. Huge arena now, can early hold them off, immediately getting torn apart by a Starday. Sadly, hook shots in. Ellison brings down the Mars. Meepo is about to respawn. Can they hold them off? Can they defend their ancient? Leonidas getting brought down, still doesn't have enough gold for buyback. Aceto getting low for the damage from the Terror Blade. Qhali finish it off, take game 2, and move on to the quarterfinals of this week's TDL. That was an absolutely crazy game. A 2-0 victory by Qhali does not show you just how close this game was for so long, just how well Kingpins played. Incredibly impressive performance on both sides. Qhali will be the ones moving on. Let's check in on the bracket to see who they will be playing next. Yeah, I mean, the comeback, too, from Qhali there, to hang in through this lead, keeping it close the whole time. Just a really incredible match. This is also going to be the last match I'm casting today, so thanks everybody for joining us. I'm going to see who we should raid. I'm going to potentially throw it over to... Okay, so it's the quarterfinals. There are teams that already got a buy-in, so it's going to be Qhali against prospective players. And let's see, who is casting that game? Alright, that's going to be Sergeant Sarcasm. So I will throw a raid over in 5 minutes, which will be instantly for the viewers. thanks so much for joining me today. These were some really fun games to cast. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, I will have a semifinals match here on the channel, and then it'll be elsewhere for the grand finals. Looking forward to that matchup as well. Excited to see who makes it through. We've got even more teams that are in have been in DPC qualifiers, have played in DPC or in TI qualifiers. Really exciting to get to see these teams. Excited to get to cast more of them. So thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the Dota that you're going to see. See if Qhali can continue their run to beat respective players, the number 4 seed. It's going to be another close matchup. That's the 4 versus 5 seed. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. I am looking forward to it. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you around.